another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my two slightly suspicious co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
To my left, it is none other than our very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Palazzolo.
You can't win without run support. It's that simple.
The Tigers are looking sneakingly suspicious right now. Sneakingly suspicious.
It is what it is. It's all going to catch up to him sooner or later.
But don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to keep you guys up to date on everything going on in the Tigers game today. We're going to talk through it. We'll have an emotional support group for when they lose. Either way, we're back. I'd like to introduce the man behind the computer now. Looking awfully pink and gelling his hair with his own goo, it is Bruce the Tugboat Venditti.
Hello.
Can we see your new haircut?
Sure, man.
Wow, look at that. Look at how coiffed it is.
He looks
Awfully coiffed.
Looks like
you look like Peyton Manning.
Congratulations.
You look like
Trying to
Peyton
watch
Manning.
the game
like a
over
young
here.
Peyton Manning.
You look like a young Peyton Manning. You look like the bastard son of Andrew Van Ginkel.
That's an honor.
That's an honor after yesterday, yeah. Look at extra pink, though. Nice and pink today. Welcome. It's a Monday. It's not a victory Monday, but it's a Monday. Honest to God, it kind of sucked not watching the Lions yesterday.
Yeah, there was something missing.
It didn't feel
I was actually from 1:30 to about 8 o'clock last night. I was painting while I was watching Red Zone.
You said background
This
noise?
is just how bullshit it was.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you stay up until 1?
Fuck no.
I did.
You stayed all the way up.
I
to that
couldn't
game.
do
I
it.
did, yeah.
Could not do it.
I was fighting to stay awake on the couch. Usually I go to bed at halftime and watch the game in bed. I was fighting to stay awake on the couch before the game started. I think I made it to about halfway through the second quarter and I was done. Did you watch Sunday Night Football or no?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
No, not the whole thing.
Yeah,
I went to bed about 12:20.
That was worst case scenario for
Everyone.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean-
woke up for the London game, then you
Yeah.
said it's 15 hours.
I actually
I was
watched
awake.
I
for
watched the
that.
whole
Did you?
London
Whole
game.
London game.
Watched the whole London game.
I only saw the
I
second
too.
half.
That's why I
was doing
couldn't
some
make
pickling.
it to the fucking Sunday night.
Yeah, there was no chance of making it through that game. And the weather was pretty bad. They were showing hail and the power was out and all kinds of shit. Honestly, God, I was kind of surprised that game started.
We were stuck listening to those stupid
I
people
didn't- I didn't
talk.
watch
I
that.
couldn't handle
How
it.
about the NFL, dude? Nothing could stop it.
Nothing.
Hurricanes, nothing
Nothing.
can fucking stop the NFL.
Luckily, Tampa has an away game
Yeah.
this week coming.
They've already left.
Yeah,
They're already
dipped
in New
already.
Orleans.
They already dipped because there was no chance there would be a game going on there. I don't know if Miami has a home game or not, but they'll miss
Gotta
it.
be careful.
What?
You never know which way they're going to turn.
Those Hurricanes?
Remember the last time one hit fucking New Orleans? And
Yeah,
the levees broke.
it doubled down.
Yeah.
That was a
My
double.
favorite
you
Zeppelin
never
song,
know.
by the
You
way.
never
The
know.
levees broke.
When the levee breaks.
But there was some really exciting football yesterday. We had some fantastic games. Before we get into those, though, Uncle Sam, how was your weekend?
I'm sorry?
How was your weekend?
It was all right.
Any high points, low points, pits, peaks?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I went to funeral. Fucking.
Whew.
It was kind of shitty, actually.
Shitty weekend?
Yeah.
Did you eat anything good at least?
No.
Nothing good.
Actually, I did. I had some calzones from this little place down the street from me, around the block. Never eaten there. First time was the other day.
Good calzone?
Fucking. I'll tell you what, dude. Their shit is fucking
Tight. What'd you get in your calzone?
real tight.
What'd you get in
The
your
guy
calzone?
went to school with Uncle Tony. Went to high school with Uncle Tony. He's a couple of years younger. So it was actually kind of cool. He asked me if my name was Sam, and I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker know my name. Yeah. Well, he's seen the name on the credit card receipt. So
What was in your calzone?
mushrooms, pepperoni, black olives, and cheese. That's it.
So when you think of calzone, what's the first place that comes to mind?
For calzones?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love fucking Antonio's.
No,
Calzones by Antonio.
you're not thinking right.
Huh?
Calzones.
Huh.
When you think of a calzone, what do you think of?
What do I think of?
Yeah.
George Steinbrenner and fucking.
Louis Pizza Express on Joy Road.
Oh, that's no.
Is that
Those
any
aren't
relation to
calzones.
Louis?
Those are stuffed.
Different
pizza.
Louis.
Different.
Hey,
Louis.
stuffed pizza.
Okay,
not
excuse me. They called it a
calzone.
stuffed pizza. So, actually, I was having a conversation the other day, and I remember it being, that was the best of the best. It was fantastic.
Their stuffed pizzas were right up there with anybody's.
So, and I'm craving it. So I go online, I look it up. It's under new ownership. It changed to Louis Pizza and
Express.
fried chicken and fish.
Oh, I bet you it's absolute turd.
Every single review for the last 4 years since they changed ownership, dog shit.
Right.
Dog shit.
That's it.
And I mean,
Ruined
that
it.
was one of the greats.
ruined-
We've lost a
ruined
lot of greats on the west side between the Golden Feather.
Listen, dude,
Louis.
the greatest pizza place when we first moved to Dearborn Heights, fucking 30 years ago, whatever, 40 years ago, when we first moved there from Detroit, there was a place on Warren Avenue called Carla's. And every time you'd fucking walk in there, dude, they'd had the soccer game on. There's 4 or 5 Italian dudes in there fucking speaking Italian. They had the fucking best food.
Peroni's flowing everywhere.
You know what he did? He sold his pizza place and bought a construction company. And then he started doing that.
Cash business.
I was like, I seen him about a year ago. And I was like, man, I know you from somewhere. And he looked at me. I was like, Carlos Pizza? He goes, yeah, I own Carlos Pizza. He goes,
Wow.
I sold it and bought a construction
Good for
company.
him getting out
Now
of
I'm
the pizza
retired.
business.
I'm like, good for you. But man, that was the best place because those guys would be talking shit to each other in Italian. They'd be fucking throwing fucking
was the
dough
whole
at
package.
each other.
It was the whole
They're
package.
the best. They're the best.
You brought up Louis Pizza, East Side Louis Pizza.
Yeah.
Paul
Wonder.
Lopez's brother worked there.
Which one?
We used to go, Louis.
This side Louis.
Correct.
With the Louis special.
And we used to go there. Their shit was top notch.
Okay. Their pizza's very good.
Yes.
The best thing on that menu is the Louis special sandwich.
Okay.
Is it the hoagie there?
No, it's shredded beef, barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, garlic bread. Everybody goes there for pizza, but that sandwich from there is unfucking matched. I ate 3 of them at work one day and threw up. That was the last time I had it. And I haven't been able to eat it since, but it sounds really good right now. Zolo, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I did the same thing as you guys yesterday. Just laid on the couch and watched football.
Just that's it. Just
That's it.
vegetated.
That's it. Just watched football.
Any pickle?
Pickled Saturday morning. Pickled yesterday morning. Yeah, there was a little pickle.
A little bit of pickle mixed in.
A little pickle. Reminded me of Bruce. A little bit of pickle.
Oh, wow.
Did you eat anything good?
Not that I can. Oh, not true at all. Sarah made homemade tomato soup yesterday. She also made this homemade breaded chicken cutlet sandwich with burrata and yeah, it was really good. And then with the tomato soup, we actually had grilled. So I had 2 different sandwiches yesterday. We had grilled cheeses with bacon in them.
And a cutlet sandwich?
Listen, when you do fucking tomato soup, if you don't have grilled cheese,
Gotta have the grilled cheese.
there's something fucking wrong with you.
Agree.
Aunt Laura makes grilled cheese and puts fucking bacon in her grilled cheese.
Got to.
In the cheese.
Yeah.
In
Mix the whole thing
Oh, yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, she does. That and sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We had pesto spread. She usually makes it. She didn't yesterday because we were just doing so much. By we doing so much, I mean she was doing so much in the kitchen while I was watching football. There's a pesto spread that we put on it. We just got Rayo's pesto spread, and we also got Rayo's sun-dried spread. Otherwise, we
Gotta have
make it
sun-dried
ourselves.
tomatoes. Gotta have
Yeah.
sun-dried tomatoes. You put that in the cheese.
That's
Oh,
top
yeah.
tier. Bruce, how was your weekend?
It's all right.
High points, low points, pits, peaks?
High points. 2 Philly cheesesteaks, extra cheese, extra meat,
From?
homemade
Oh, wow.
Extra meat.
on the Blackstone.
The
Actually,
Blackstone Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Wow.
polished that off with some of Frankenmuth's finest IPA type shit. I don't know.
Just IPA.
Why is the
works.
camera not on you?
Yeah.
You're speaking.
Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Look into the camera. Talk
into
to
the
people.
camera.
No, I'm talking to you guys.
Look into the camera.
You could just call it an IPA though. It's
Sure,
not IPA
yeah.
type shit.
One of those
What's
jugs.
an IPA?
An India Pale Ale.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
India Pale Ale. It is a type
I don't know
of
what
beer.
that is.
Tastes like dog water. Hate it.
Yeah.
Played some pool. Watched
kind
the
of pool?
fights.
I play game
kind of
pigeon
pool?
pool.
Not your type of pool.
What do you mean now? It's my type. What are you talking about?
Regular
Billiards?
pool.
Billiards?
Yeah, billiards.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You
Then
look
watch
like
the
you
fight.
dominated a pool hall in your day at some point.
You know who's dominant is Tim Flores.
Shout out to Tim Flores.
I thought
Dude,
you were
he's
gonna
got
say
a fucking
pocket
little-
pool,
A little
but
fucking ring with about 1,000 patches on it. He goes to Vegas every year and plays tournaments in Vegas.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Mrs.
I was
Fong.
never that good.
You
We
wanna
play
know-
for beers, but
Fun fact. So I finished my college career with 19 credits, 3 of which were in billiards.
really,
I took billiards at Wayne State, passed it, flying colors.
That's good.
Yep.
I'm
Well-
horrible.
shout out to Suey. He bought his first house. So
Shout out
Who?
to Suey.
Shout out to Suey. Suey bought a
Suey.
crib. Are you gonna move in there? You
who
gonna
the fuck
pay
is
rent?
Stewie?
no,
Softball, tip softball legend.
Where's the house
I
at,
don't know
Bruce?
either.
Dox him.
I'll say 13 Mile.
That away.
Nice.
That away.
There you go.
Shout out to Suey, getting after it. Okay, let's discuss football. We have a lot of games to get through. Some really good ones, some not so good. A lot of teams disappointed us, and we'll start out with probably the biggest disappointment of the week, and that was in London at 9:30 in the morning. The Vikings hosted the Jets. Was it at Tottenham?
It was Tottenham
Tottenham.
Stadium. I've been there, by the way. That place is sick. They did a really good job. Are you going?
TBD. TBD.
We should go to Dallas.
If
You
I
need to
do,
go.
it's going to be a Friday morning
Okay.
adventure, but we'll see. First things first. Vikings beat the Jets 23-17, and I'll be honest, that final score doesn't really write the whole picture of this game because I don't think it was ever that close.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, why?
Why? Because they were the whole fourth quarter. They were within striking distance of taking the lead in that game.
And could
The problem is they couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers. He was sacked 7 times.
I want to say something. And yes, I agree the Jets offensive line has been suspect. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that good anymore. What you want to know? You want to know? You want to know what I was thinking about yesterday when I was watching Aaron Rodgers play that game, especially after he got a little banged up and he didn't. He was doing a lot of stuff where he didn't want to put pressure on the leg and dancing around. And he reminded me of Tom Brady in the last year in Tampa.
Not even close.
Yep.
Not even
did.
close. Tom Brady didn't have any injuries.
Some of the throws look really nice. And
Tom
then
Brady
the rest
never
of the
had
time,
no injuries when he retired.
Aaron Rodgers looked like final year Tom Brady. And I'll be honest,
I don't agree with
I think the clock is starting to
The
run.
difference between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady was Aaron Rodgers is not playing behind a good offensive line like Tom Brady was.
Can I tell you the problem with the Jets right now? And I know I got you on my team. I'm worried about him. We need to talk some sense into him. Nate Hackett sucks.
Yeah, he's fucking trash.
Nathaniel Hackett he's a bottom 5 offensive coordinator. And he's completely clipping the balls off that team. Because even when you have a shitty offensive line, you should be able to run the ball effectively with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. And they're just not doing it. And at some point, it's a play calling issue.
But who do we blame Nathaniel Hackett on? Aaron Rodgers, LeBron
I think it's
handpicked his own head
dysfunction.
coach.
It's dysfunction. I think it's extremely dysfunctional there.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's more internally going on there than just
Yes.
Nathaniel Hackett.
It wouldn't
I
shock
don't
me.
think Aaron Rodgers likes Mahmoud Bob. I don't think they get along.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think-
If this
I don't think
persists,
he likes Rodgers.
Rodgers.
if
picked
this
Hackett.
persists,
Yeah, that's going to blow up.
because this division is wide open for the taking.
Oh,
The Patriots are the worst team in the league. The Dolphins have no quarterback and are on life support. The Bills are just flat out bad, in my opinion. Not bad. They're not bad, but the Jets should be better than the Bills, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
On paper, they should be
Yes,
better.
on paper without.
So the division is up there for the taking, and they're losing these winnable games. They're losing winnable games. I don't care what you say about the Broncos. That was a winnable
You
game.
could say what you want to say about the Vikings. Brian Flores' defense is for real. Everybody better fucking stand to attention on that.
No argument.
It's fucking real.
No argument. And the offense is of course real. And O'Connell's offense is of course real. That being said, you had the ball driving to win the game at the end
More
of the
than
game.
one.
with Aaron
More than
Rodgers,
once. and couldn't get it done.
So I think there's major dysfunction. I was reading a blurb from Nick Baumgartner, used to cover Michigan football, covered the Lions for the longest time for Detroit News, MLive. He's now the Athletics their second scout, their second main scout. So he covers NFL and college. And he goes to the Senior Bowl every year, and he was telling the story about when he went to the Senior Bowl a year after the Lions had gone 2-0, Campbell's first year, and the Jets had done whatever they did. So after year one, those were the two coaching staffs for the Senior Bowl. And there was bitterness that Saleh didn't get hired here. Remember in real time, we thought it was crazy, like the fact that he didn't end up here. He was from here, he's from Dearborn. He had an interview. He was just coming off of the Super Bowl with the Niners. Didn't make any sense. Anyways, we ended up with Campbell. They ended up with Saleh. And there were rumors coming around about how Campbell's running a clown show at practice and everything's a mess. Meanwhile, that's been the case for going on 4 years in New Jersey here. And I think, out of all the coaches right now, if this persists, this one makes the most sense. Because there's no excuses. There's no torn Achilles.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what.
And I all the money they had invested in that offensive line, man, they look like dog shit. They looked bad. They couldn't run block.
I didn't think their defense looked very good either.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Sam Darnold had a fucking horrible game.
Yes, that was Minnesota. That was
And
the
they still
worst.
pulled it out.
That's what I'm saying. That was the worst game Minnesota has played this year.
Yes, absolutely.
Without question.
Offensively, absolutely.
So if you actually had a good game out of Minnesota,
They'd have blew them out.
they'd have blew them out.
Yeah.
There's an issue with the Jets.
But the Jets defense did stand on their head multiple times to keep that game as close as it was.
Yeah. Yes.
Without Gardner and without a lot of their guys, their pieces on defense.
What's the outlook on the Jets?
Bad.
Well, I mean, we got to see who they play next.
Bad. They're lucky they're in that division.
They're lucky they're in that division.
They're lucky they're
Right.
I'm going to agree. They're 2-3, okay? And then coming up for them, they have Buffalo,
Okay.
and then at Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and then at New England,
All right.
and then home against Houston.
So that game this week, when is the Buffalo game?
Monday night.
Great game.
Monday Night Football in New York.
That's for the Bills to go 3-3 and the Jets to go 3-3. That's your prove it game. That's your
yes.
Achilles
They need that game
Achilles rematch game. That's everything. That's a great game on paper. I'm excited for that one.
So am I. Going forward for Minnesota, they're going into the bye undefeated now.
Yeah. Good.
And they come out of the bye and they host the Detroit Lions.
This will give you a real assessment on where the Lions are at.
Right.
How about where the Vikings are at?
Well, I think more where the Lions are at than the Vikings.
I think it's more where the
Because
Vikings are
if
at.
Detroit goes in there and fucking punches them on the chin, that will tell you where they're at.
But
agree.
I
And
agree.
everybody better stand notice because then they're the strongest team in the NFC.
It's a barometer test for both. Of course, I think that the Vikings are a threat. They could easily win the division.
Right.
I take them seriously. But that being said, this is still the Lions' division to lose, in my opinion. So I think it's the other way
They're
around.
the defending
Can I
champions of the division.
Yeah.
I want to say something, and I know you guys are probably gonna look at me like I'm crazy. I'm still not 100% sold on Minnesota.
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sold on them because of their defense.
I'm sold on their defense.
And Darnold.
I think their defense is that good. They lead the league in sacks
Their defense is that good.
and interceptions.
Okay, if you look at how they got to where they are,
Yeah.
they beat the Giants week 1.
Right.
And they beat San Francisco, which at this point I'm not even sure if I want to call that a quality.
It doesn't look good right now.
It does not look good right now.
Right now.
They punched Houston in the mouth and absolutely dismantled
Listen,
Houston.
those two games that you just mentioned should tell you that they're not fake. They're
not.
They're not fake.
They're not. Do you think they're fake?
I don't.
Listen, I don't know if I want to necessarily say they're fake, but I don't think they're as good as their record reflects.
Fair, so fair.
Because they beat Green Bay by a field goal, and Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions in that game. And I truly,
Listen, the Packers were playing from behind 3/4 of that game. They were playing from behind. It was garbage time bullshit at the end. They were never in control of that game.
and okay, I agree. And
Where
the Jets
Minnesota
win.
controlled that game.
The Jets win, okay? If it wasn't for Miami's dismemberment, the Jets are a third-place team in that division.
Well, listen, I don't believe in Miami.
Well,
regardless.
not right fucking now.
Even
no.
with Tua in there, they did not look good their first game. They should have lost that game.
Nobody looked at their first game.
Anyway.
So I know what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
going there.
I know what you're saying. I want to see one of those
overrated.
complete start to finish games that I think the Vikings are capable of against a better team, because those complete games haven't come against quality opponents. That being said, the Vikings are they're 5-0. They're very 6-0, excuse 5-0.
5-0.
5-0. They're very much real. They have a quarterback, they have a run game, they have the best defense, top 3 defense in the league. There's
As
so
of
much
right
to
now,
like.
they do.
Do I know what the
As of right
problem is with them? If you look at their schedule past Detroit, it's beautiful.
It's a third place schedule.
What do you mean?
It's a
They're-
third.
they have a third place.
They
It's an
play the
easier
Rams,
schedule.
Indy, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago
Hold on now.
twice.
Hold on. Yeah, if you're thinking that all those games are going to be easy for them,
They're not.
I beg to differ.
They're not.
Easy, no, but winnable, yes.
On paper, of course, goes without saying. On paper. That being said, we've seen what could happen in this league and how things change week to week. And the difference between a team like the Packers and the teams like the Packers and Lions, and then the Vikings, the difference between the two teams is the depth. And the Vikings, just like last year, are one pin away. Like, they're on their second quarterback already. They're one pin away from the whole plug going out, from everything going out. So they're one injury at almost every position on
Their
offense.
backup is hurt, gone
Yeah.
for the year.
Yeah.
He was never a starter. He was a backup. There's no way he would have beat Darnold out.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. Some people would disagree with that, and
I wouldn't. I mean,
That's fair.
I think Darnold's got a lot more.
they're one
experience.
injury away. They're one.
You see all these teams that are starting these rookies. Denver's getting lucky right now. They're doing it as a group effort. It's nothing he's doing on his own.
I'm not arguing rookie quarterbacks. I'm
Right.
telling you that if Justin Jefferson goes down, they're in trouble.
they're
If Darnold goes down, they're in trouble.
trouble.
If Harrison Smith goes down, they're in trouble. The whole nine. Like we'll see what happens if we'll see if Aaron Jones is out
Well, here
long
you
term.
go.
That's a problem.
This is going to tell you right now. Without Aaron Jones, they can't move the football like they were with him. You could see it right away. As soon as Jones went out of that game, offensively, they started to sputter because they could not move the ball on the ground consistently.
100%.
Yes.
I mean,
So this will tell you going forward where they're at, especially with the Aaron Jones injury. That's huge.
we picked this game in a split too. I got a request from somebody. No, I got a request.
I took the Vikings. I know.
You and me both took the Vikings.
Yeah.
I got a request for somebody for us to say who we picked.
Okay.
So it was a split. You and me had the Vikings in this game. And everybody picked the under, which did not hit.
It didn't go over. Did it? I thought it was under, what was it? 39?
It was 40. And actually, no, you're right. It was all under. The under was 43.
43. So we did hit.
We hit the under.
We hit the under
Everybody hit
also.
the under. Moving on. The Carolina Panthers went to Chicago to get pounded by the Bears.
Yeah. Listen to me. Everybody needs to fucking chill out, dude. The Chicago Bears beat probably a bottom 2 team in the fucking league. That's what they did.
Hold on.
They beat a bottom 2 team in the league that's so depleted talent-wise that this did not surprise me. I took Chicago, so it did not surprise me.
You did indeed take Chicago. Me and Bruce took
You?
the Panthers in this game.
You took Chicago too, no?
Took Chicago.
I think Chicago's defense is very real.
And that's what I was
They're
going to say.
for real. They're
Chicago's
no joke.
defense
Yeah.
played a beautiful
But if you
game.
watch offensively, dude, it's real easy to throw the ball to people when they're fucking
Wide
people are-
open.
15 yards off, or not even in the picture.
We know
Blown
DeAndre
coverages.
Swift is bad, and they could not stop
couldn't
DeAndre
stop
Swift.
No.
No, they could not stop him. They could not stop
Oh, boom,
Scared the shit out of me.
boom. One out, guy on first and third. The Tigers should turn to double play to get out of the inning.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay.
Look at that stretch.
Beautiful.
Holy fuck.
So what still
Unless it's
0-0?
a home run, I don't want to hear it.
0-0.
What inning?
Going into the top of the 7th.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. I'll say this. Caleb Williams had a very nice game yesterday. He had a very nice game. And I get it. It was against the Panthers defense is shitty. I know.
Yeah.
But he had a really nice game. If he can carry that momentum, all right. I'm sorry, but I think Chicago is going to be, I don't want to say in the thick of things, but they're going to be right there going into the last 4 games of the season.
Vikings have a third place schedule. Chicago's got a last place schedule.
Correct. And that's
There you go.
worrisome because Chicago's going to take advantage of that.
I
Win
still
your
think,
division and nothing. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Agreed.
Period.
Agreed.
Yep.
As far as the Panthers go, do you think seeing Bryce Young?
I actually think Chuba Hubbard's looked pretty good the last
Chuba
2
Hubbard
weeks.
has looked really good.
Last 2 weeks, he's been fucking money.
He's looked fantastic.
You know?
Listen, they have some moments where they actually look halfway decent.
Yeah,
Chuba
but
Hubbard
then,
doesn't look
then
bad.
you see those moments
Where
defensively.
it's just
My
so-
God, dude. Fucking DJ Moore. I didn't see a guy within 15 yards of him, the one pass he caught. There wasn't a guy even in the fucking picture. He was by himself. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Dalton had a pretty lackluster performance yesterday. Bryce Young got in the fourth quarter. Do you think that?
Well, Dalton was also running for his life, dude. That defense is for real. I don't think that's a misconception at all. I think they defensively, I think they're better than Detroit is. I think Minnesota defensively is better than Detroit. Just offensively, I don't believe outside Justin Jefferson, I don't think either one of those teams got the guns to stay with Detroit.
Do you think that seeing Bryce Young go out there in the fourth quarter, and after his little break, his little hiatus,
No,
you don't think he's going to be the guy?
no.
You,
Not yet.
not yet. He needs a little bit more.
Not till the wheels come completely off.
He's got to marinate in the oven a little bit longer.
The wheels have to completely come off for him to be back in. Meaning, Dalton's got to get carted off the field or
Death.
something.
Loss of limb.
Yeah.
Let's jump to SoFi Stadium. The Rams hosted the Packers in this game. The Rams are now 1-4 after Green Bay beats them 24-19. In this game, you picked the Rams. The rest
In
of
fact,
us,
they had a chance to win that game at the end and got absolutely molested.
Same drill. Yeah.
Yeah.
you took the Rams.
That was a PI. I know exactly what you're talking about.
fuck yes,
That
it
was a
was.
PI.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You took the Rams in the over. The rest of us took the Packers
Yeah.
in the under. This Rams team that we really thought was going to make a run, now 1-4.
When Tutu Atwell is your best fucking receiver, dude, it still looks better than Miami. That's all I'm going to say.
What we saw out of Jordan Love yesterday, honest to God, I still think Malik Willis is just as good, if not better, in his performances. I don't think we have seen Jordan Love, even in this win.
The difference between those two is this. Jordan Love can hit a pass down the field,
Yes.
not consistently, but can hit passes down the field, where Malik Willis, that's not happening.
Agreed.
That's the difference.
Do you think this is as good as it's going to get for the Packers?
No, because I think their defense is good enough to keep them. They kept them in that fucking game yesterday.
Yes, but is that it? Have we seen the best
mean-
out of the Packers
Can-
that we've seen?
Can I tell you something? Right now, yeah. With these injuries, right now, I think that they haven't hit that gear, that division-winning gear. People had them in the Super Bowl. They haven't hit that gear yet. Jordan Love, I know he's banged up. He's played in 3 games, though, and he hasn't been great in all 3
All of
games.
I tend to agree right now. And this is the thing. Like, I think there's a real possibility that the Packers finish last in that division, in our division.
Oof. I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
I don't know about that because when healthy, right?
Right.
I think they're a version of the Vikings right now
Dobbs
that
was
has more
suspended
depth.
for the game.
Yeah, and he'll be
And,
back.
Who else was banged up?
Christian Watson.
Christian
Watson's
Watson.
hurt again.
That's
Big
what I'm
surprise there.
But that's what I'm saying.
But when they're at full strength, they're fucking formidable. They have a really good receiving core. And that defense is very young, and they're another good defense. I will say this. all three opponents that Lions will play in division have very good defense.
Whose defense do you like better, Chicago or Green Bay?
I think
Minnesota's.
Chicago's is a
Well,
little.
I like Minnesota's better than
I do
both.
too, but I think Chicago's defense is a hair better. They have more.
No, they're more than a hair better. Chicago's defense they have the best secondary in football.
Chicago's defense has key veterans at every position.
Yep.
Where Green Bay, they're the second youngest team in the league.
So Green Bay has the worst defense in our division.
They don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
In our division.
In our division, I think the Lions' defense is behind all them guys. You guys just think what you want, dude. I'm not going to fucking sit here and sugarcoat it. I don't think the Lions' defense matches up to any of those other defenses. But the Lions' offense is better than all of those fucking teams put together.
Agree.
Because outside Justin Jefferson, they don't have shit. And now that Aaron Jones is gone, yeah.
We'll get to what I feel about the Lions defense when we go to the Seahawks game later because I have a great question.
Okay.
But
Yeah, they got 400 yards put on them. The Giants did better than they did anyway.
Okay, we could do the other 3 games where they didn't get 400 games put on them though, where they held Kyler Murray to sub 280.
Oh, I'm just saying that
Are the
the
Rams
Seattle Seahawks put 400 yards passing on the Lions that the fucking Giants didn't let up 400 yards.
That's fair. We'll get to that.
are the Rams out of the playoff picture?
Not yet. I still think it's too early. I still think it's too
I don't
early.
think it's too early. I think they're dead.
They're 1-4, dude.
They're dead.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let me tell you
If
why.
they can get somebody back this week, whether it's
They ain't
Cup
getting him back.
or maybe Nakua. Nakua's out for maybe what? 2 more weeks?
2 more weeks minimum.
Maybe.
Minimum.
Maybe.
Let me tell you why I
On
think.
IR.
Let me tell you why I think they're in big trouble right now. The NFC's loaded. If they were in the AFC, like the Bengals, who have the same record, who I don't think get into the playoffs, the Bengals are still very much alive. The Rams are not.
Watch out for the Bengals. Bengals are going to go on a fucking run.
They
here.
could. They could. I don't think it's going to happen, but they
Their
could.
schedule favors them
Just
to go on a run.
The Rams, though, no, they're done. The NFC's way too loaded. We're talking about 4 teams getting in from the North right now. You
Right.
know?
So at a minimum, I think you see 3 teams get in from our division. At a minimum.
Possibly.
Because
See what
Minnesota
happens.
is 3 or 4 wins away from pretty much.
Well, you got to
locking in a
watch
wild
out
card
for that. What is it? The NFC South.
Come on.
That's
NFC
Get out.
South
Get
might
out.
have a bunch of them.
Dude, you're ahead of me.
Parker Meadows to the warning track.
Fuck, dude, you're ahead of me. This is ridiculous.
NFC South, you're going to get at least, I think, 2 teams. So right there, like I don't think the Rams catch up to Atlanta. I don't think the Rams catch up to Tampa.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
don't
think they catch up to
listen to me.
Minnesota.
They're not totally out of their division yet. They're not totally out of it, dude.
Seattle's better than them, and so is San Francisco.
They still have to play.
They still have to play. Yes.
Yep.
Speaking of the devil, the Cardinals had quite the game with San Francisco. This game went literally down to the wire. Arizona comes up on top 24-23 in San Francisco to send both these teams to 2-3 and they're both in their own the NFC West. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I don't think Brock Purdy had a very nice game. I also don't think Kyler Murray had a very nice game. Nobody really did anything nobody wanted to win this game.
I think it's
Are
a
the
different.
warning flags up for San Francisco right now?
Yes.
Their
yes.
defense
Their defense
is
Yes.
not that good.
I think they win this game if Jake Moody doesn't go down though. I think that was the difference in the game.
losing your
That was
kicker.
possible.
You get the
Yeah.
field goals. You know, they
Because
had to go
they
for it
were
on
going
4th and
for it.
20
Yeah.
and
4th
yeah.
and 23, they
Yeah.
went for it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that if Moody doesn't go down, they win this game.
They had no answer for Murray late.
But Kyler Murray took over the game in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Their run
And their
defense didn't look good.
Did not look good at all.
I thought James Conner
James
looked
Conner
really
was
good
a
yesterday.
fucking animal yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, and Kyler Murray ran roughshod on them. He ran all over them.
Real quick with you, I'm shocked that the Cardinals because I didn't think yesterday was great for them. Still,
No,
I think
well,
I think they're going on 3 straight bad performances. Aren't you shocked that they're not taking the step? Like even Marvin Harrison, there's flashes here and there, but like the guy's not getting open. Kyler's still heavily relying on Trey McBride, in my opinion. And I'm just shocked that offensively the Cardinals haven't been able to open it up as well as they
They
should.
look kind of fucking one-dimensional
A
offensively.
little bit.
For some reason, they haven't been able to scheme Harrison open like they did in the second game of the year. It's almost like he went back to what he was, just standing there and
Bruce, I need you to keep up with TikTok. I'm off
So-
of it, all right?
There's no activity right now.
Yeah.
For Arizona going forward, I mean, yeah, they won yesterday after 2 losses in a row, but where's our outlook on them? Because I think they're extremely suspect right now. They go to Green Bay next week, then they get the Chargers and the Dolphins, but down the stretch, I mean, they play Chicago, they play the Jets, they play
hey, the
Minnesota.
wins add up, dude. Wins add up. Win your division, dude. Everybody's overlooking that. Win your fucking division. You beat everybody in your division. You have a one-way ticket to the playoffs.
And we're less
None
than
of
a
that
third
other
of the way
shit
through the
matters.
season. You could
Yeah.
totally anyone
Win your
who's
fucking division.
unless you're 0-5, which no one is anymore, 1-4, and even some of the 1-4 teams are still very, like you said, the
Yeah.
Bengals are very much in it. Everyone's technically in it right now. You know, you're no
Hey,
worse than 1-4 or 2-3.
Let me say this. Baltimore got lucky in that fucking game yesterday. They got real fucking lucky, dude. That was
For the record, you were
Bullshit.
the only one who picked the Cardinals in this game. 24-23, that's 47, and it did go under.
But you know what? Here we go again. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with San Francisco defensively. For some reason, that back end and the front end ain't working together well at all. And there's something going on there.
Moving on. The New York Giants headed to Lumen Field to play the Seahawks. They come out on top in this one, 29-20, which means the over did indeed hit in this game. And as far as our picks go, you were the only
Give
one
that man
who
his
picked the
flowers.
Giants.
Give that man his flowers.
You were the only one who picked the Giants, and you also picked the over. Bruce also did pick the over with you.
I hear you, Bruce. Did you pick the Giants?
No, he did not. He picked Seattle.
Dumbass.
Hey, man.
What can you say? Daniel Jones, this is his second week in a row where he hasn't looked god off.
This is the only reason
for
why
him.
I took them.
Good for him. Everyone's betting against
I
him.
thought he and hey, who knew that that kid come out of there and stepped into Singletary's shoes was going
Tyrone
to do
Tracy?
that?
No, he was supposed to have a big year, but this quick, he's the best.
quick?
He's the best
Yeah.
rookie running back
You
right
want
now.
to know how I drafted him? And then I dropped him for Jeff Wilson as a backup to A-Chan.
Yeah,
Hey, that might pay off right now.
big mistake because I'm sure.
No,
And
it's
then
just a
I
concussion.
dropped,
And
and then
your cousin probably went and picked him up.
PJ picked him up.
That's what PJ
And then you
does.
want to know what the worst decision I made was? I dropped Jeff Wilson to pick up Von Miller.
No. I think I had Von Miller at one point too.
Von Miller's been on like 5 of our fantasy teams already. Anyways, Daniel Jones, another good performance. You want to discuss the situation? I know you want to.
Their defense really stepped up yesterday.
Hey, Darius Slayton, you got to shout him out because he filled into Malik Neighbors' role.
Now hang on, he didn't
That-
get my anytime touchdown like I said he was
Yes, he
going
did.
to. He did.
Yes, he
He
did.
got an anytime.
He got an anytime.
Fuck, I was wrong.
122 yards receiving and a touchdown.
There you go. Darius Slayton, for some reason, this guy always fucking shows up in a game where they have no business having a chance.
I
in.
know. I know. But
But
yeah,
then you put him in the starting role and he does absolutely nothing.
so those were some top performances from Giant skill positions yesterday. I will say, what the fuck is going on with Kenneth Walker? They're not using him. They're not running the football.
Listen, we gotta go here now.
He hasn't looked
Gotta go
good.
here now.
It's just not good.
What do you mean?
He had 5 carries for 19 yards yesterday.
Well, the carries I did see him carrying, he was getting pummeled.
I don't know what's going on.
I think
with that.
really think, you know what? I think there's something going on. I don't know if it's the play calling, but for some reason, when they rely on Geno Smith now, they're putting pressure back on Geno Smith, where the scumbag took the pressure off of Geno Smith, and he fucking played better that way. I think when you're relying on Geno Smith to just throw the ball all over the field on you, you're putting them in a bad position. And I think them not dedicating themselves to running the football and making some balance with that offense. You just seen the reason why they lost that game yesterday.
Skubal came back out for the 7th, by the way.
Did he?
At 80, he was at 83.
And what's happening now?
And he just got his first batter, 1 out in the 7th. No
One out in the 7th.
Yeah, he's facing the middle of their order. That was Jose Ramirez. He's got the 4-5 up next.
The next question from this game. Where are we at with the Giants now? Because 3 weeks ago, they were the worst team in football, and now they just got a big win over what we thought was a quality team in Seattle without their 2 best skill players. Where are you at on the Giants?
Gritty
That's kind of
team.
weird, no?
Gritty team, and on top of that, I think again I've been on my knees for Brian Daboll for a couple years. I think he's an excellent coach, and I'm happy for them. I hope he's able to survive this year, and maybe they can get a quarterback next year, or maybe Daniel Jones is the answer. Maybe he ends up evolving, and they add to their offensive line for real finally. Good for the Giants. I didn't think talent-wise that they had enough to compete this year, so it's not like it's going to matter. But accumulating these wins, and staying in the middle of the pack and staying in it, who knows?
Hey, listen, everybody thought the 2 top teams in that division by far is Philadelphia and Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And look what's going on.
Dallas is, what, 3-2?
Yes.
Philly's 2-2. Commanders are 4-1 or 3-1 or
4-1.
4-1. I mean, you're not far off. Like, I don't think the Commanders can sustain what they're doing. So hey, pile some wins up, and that's a big win on the road. Can we talk about Seattle, though, real quick?
Please.
Are there big issues, or are they the latest victim of what's now being dubbed
The Lions hangover.
the Lions hangover?
No, I don't think that.
Do you know what the Lions hangover is?
No, I don't believe that.
Would you like to tell them what the Lions hangover is?
I don't care about the Lions hangover.
After playing the Lions,
Yeah.
teams are 0-4 and do not cover the spread after playing them.
Well, I don't hold much stock into that.
I'm pissed you say that because
Why?
you are the biggest fan of old-fashioned black and blue, pound your ass football. And the gist is the Lions are so physically imposing on both ends of the ball, especially at the line of scrimmage, that, you might beat them, but they're going to beat the shit out of you to the point where the next week you're going to come out and not do much at all. And that's what's happening to these teams is they're getting the shit kicked out of them after playing the Lions, and they can't come back. You have to completely revamp your game plan from we're going to prep for getting it pounded down our throats, and we're going to prep for all-out pass rush from four total
maybe
guys.
You're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
We need more evidence.
Yeah, we need more evidence on that.
I think Seattle's. I don't think they're not fraudulent because I think they're very much in the thick of their race. Look at their division, right?
Listen, they have a really good. I mean, their roster is not bad.
Not bad at all.
And the coaching, they got a good coach there. The McDonald dude is a good coach, and defensively,
Agreed.
I think they're missing a lot of pieces on defense.
They are.
That fucking hurt them bad yesterday. Also.
Yeah.
Just like it hurt against Detroit.
I'll be honest, Seattle's defense, even missing pieces, looks better than San Francisco's at the moment.
Yeah.
I know that's fucked up.
San
but
Francisco, dude, everybody's talking about San Francisco's defense. They're missing one fucking guy, dude.
I know.
What are you going to try to tell me that Dre Greenlaw is the guy that made San Francisco's defense go around? Not
be.
Fred Warner?
Must be.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. Agreed. Like they're missing him, just like they're probably missing McCaffrey on offense. But there's so many weapons on both sides.
Right.
It's not a good enough excuse.
Yesterday was the first time where you saw that they really missed Christian McCaffrey.
In the red zone.
Yeah. 100%.
In the red zone. That's where he was most effective.
Correct.
Was in the red zone.
And that Mason kid's not playing bad.
No,
he just doesn't have the
playing as one of the best running backs in the
He
league.
just doesn't have the explosiveness that McCaffrey has.
Agreed. Let's move on. To a game where Zolo and Uncle Sam picked Cleveland. Me and Bruce picked Washington.
I want to throw up right now.
We all took the under in this, which did not hit. It was over. The Commanders hosted the Browns. And Washington comes out on top 34-13.
I think we could say this first and foremost.
Are you ready now?
The kid's for real.
Jaden Daniels.
No. Hold on.
The kid's for real.
Hold on. I don't want
He's
to
for
talk
real.
about Jaden Daniels. I want you to talk about your Cleveland Browns.
Listen, dude. They were my Cleveland Browns when somebody else was quarterback.
Oh, what the?
Okay.
Now you're going to disown them? You said they would win this division.
Listen, when your quarterback is to a point where he's arguing with everybody on his team, that's not a good thing.
What about the defense? Miles Garrett,
I don't even know what to say.
0 stats.
I don't
yesterday.
even know what to
0 stats. What do you do?
How do you chase that kid around? I'll tell you what, dude. He's fucking for real, dude. You watched a good defensive line. Absolutely,
It's not a
get
good defensive
shredded.
line.
They're a good defensive
They're
line.
not a good defensive line.
Yes, they are.
They're
dude.
not.
Yes,
They
they
have
are.
not played like a good defensive line yet this year. They haven't.
Well, and the offense is so inconsistent that can't fucking move the football. This is the problem. Your defense is on the field for fucking more than half the game.
Listen, dude, whoever the fuck Jeremy McNichols is went for 6 yards per carry. It's bad. It's bad. And you want to know what?
He didn't even have, he had a few carries, dude. Come on.
He had
a
7
touchdown.
carries.
Yeah. Anyway.
Listen, but okay. Realistically, because now
Brian Robinson absolutely gashed him, especially down in the red zone.
dog.
we have to talk about this. If you are the Cleveland Browns, what do you do now? You are tied to Deshaun Watson with a fully guaranteed contract. Fully guaranteed. He gets paid whether he goes 1 in fucking 16 or they win every game the rest of the way. And we talked about this when they signed him. You are now so handcuffed. What do you do? Do you cut your loss? I don't. What do you do?
What is he on, his third year?
No, I believe it's his second.
No.
I think it's his second year too.
Is
Last
that-
year he was injured and it was his first year. Maybe it is his third year.
Hold on,
think
I'm
it's
going to
his
look.
third,
I don't
no?
think it is.
The first year he missed 12 games.
5-year, 200 and fucking.
He's got 2 years to go. He's in his third year.
They restructured his deal this summer to put some sort of void contract in there in case something happens. And Browns fans, and I know a lot of Browns fans, are desperately hoping that the contract gets voided some way, somehow.
They owe him $46 million for the next 2 years. $46 million in 25, $46 million in 26.
But here's the thing. Okay, what do you think? 30-30 is going to do any better than he does?
Yes.
You really
I,
think so?
I think it might be one of those, and it won't be that much better because I think their offensive line sucks.
Yeah.
I do think that it might be like an Andy Dalton type situation where the morale changes. I don't think he's as hated by his teammates as much because there was some tweet yesterday that went viral of him walking off the field and yelling at Stefanski, but he chose to burn a Matt Vierling just hit a come on, get down. Stand up double. 1 out, 1 on in the second or in the eighth, excuse me. Vierling.
0-0 still?
Vierling should be 0-0 should be Riley Green. Who's the 3-hole?
Ooh.
Or is it Andy Ibanez? I don't know who it is, but whoever the 3-hole today is going to be coming up. Anyways, I think you put in Jameis just to see what kind of spark it gives you because you have no choice. You have no choice. And that's another division. I don't think it's as up for grabs as we think because I think the Ravens are very good. That's a division that on paper is up for grabs. The division leader's 3-2. So, or excuse me. Oh, yeah, 3-2.
3-2.
No, because the Steelers are was that the Steelers' first loss yesterday?
No,
Yeah.
3-2.
So 3-2 to win the division. You know, so you're 2 weeks away from taking the division lead. And I don't care what anyone says. They have the personnel to do it. Nick Chubb's coming back. They got good receivers. Their defense is, maybe it's not as good as last year. It's still a top defense when it plays at its capabilities. Right. I think it could change everything. And you have to try. You have to do something right now.
The problem is I don't even think they're competitive. They're not even competitive right now.
No, it's sad.
It's that bad.
It's sad.
And you want to know something? If there's a team in the league that needs a bounce back, big win coming out of the bye, it's Philadelphia. And the Browns go to Philadelphia next week. Then they have Cincinnati. Then they have Baltimore. And I don't see them winning any of those games.
They're calling that Browns-Eagles game the Doo-Doo Bowl.
I mean, that is the fucking Dookie Bowl. If they hypothetically, if they come out of the next 3 at 1,
If the
7,
Eagles can get if they can get either, what's the name bad? Their 2 receivers are out. They can get one of them guys back.
one of them should be ready to go.
I think that'll be enough to beat Cleveland.
But if they're 1-7, what do you do? I don't even know where you go from there. The other side of this, Washington, another really, really fucking nice performance on both sides of the football. Jaden Daniels looks like, I mean, not only rookie of the year, but you got to have him in the MVP conversation at this point.
I would think so.
You have to.
He's doing something that nobody else has done.
How much better can they get than they are
He's
right
completing over 80% of his passes. It's not like he's fucking sitting on them. He's throwing them downfield.
I think they're at their ceiling.
You think this is as good as it gets?
I think, and again, what I said, I laid out the script when I picked this game of what I thought was going to happen, which is you get the ball, you score, and then you make him play from behind. He hasn't played from behind yet. I want to see what he looks like playing from behind, and I want to see what their defense looks like having to play without a lead, because their secondary is one of the worst in football still.
Right.
Still. And I want to see what that looks like. I think they're very much overachieving at the moment. We'll see, though. I think it could happen. By the way, Colt Keith struck out swinging. They intentionally walked Riley Green. 2 on with 2 outs, and they're going to their closers, one of the best in baseball, Clase or whatever his name is. He's about to come in right now.
Washington goes to Baltimore next week. You want to talk about a fucking good game to watch?
That could be the test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great game.
The battle for the DMV. I'm so in because that's his comparison is Lamar Jackson. That's
Right.
Jane Daniels comparison. That should be a lot of fun. That should be a great game.
Let's jump down here. Let's go to the Cowboys Steelers on Sunday Night Football, which was delayed till 9:45 because Schittsburg's weather was absolutely awful last night. As far as the Cowboys go, was this a big win for them
I think so.
against what we're saying is a top 3 defense, right?
I just think it was big for them to go on the road in a hostile environment and get that win in the way that they got it. They had to gut it out. And of course, I don't think Pittsburgh's offense is by any means good. That game would have been a lot more open if Dak didn't turn the ball over 3 times, if him and CD were on the same page, if there wasn't a block kick. It's not coming down to that. And I thought their defense played well with all the missing pieces. And I thought for the most part that their offense moved the ball okay against Pittsburgh's defense, which is why they won. Like they needed to get a score when they needed it yesterday at the end of the game. They did. And how many teams weren't able to do that yesterday?
A whole lot.
Right.
A whole lot.
Well, I mean, obviously you see what Pittsburgh's issue is right now. I mean, what do you do here? What do you
Justin
do?
Fields had a lot of really bad throws last night.
I think they make the
was
switch
bad, yeah.
eventually. I
It
think
was
they make
a lot
the switch
worse
eventually.
yesterday than what I've seen the 3 weeks prior.
We're going on 2 years of them not being able to run the ball too. And Najee Harris is a good back. I've seen him be
Yeah.
good in the pros. He was certainly good in college. He's a very good running back. And they don't know what they're doing with him. He could do everything. He could be better than Bijan, but they just don't know what they're doing.
You want it? I will say this about Pittsburgh. Yes, they're coming off of 2 field goal losses in a row. And Justin Fields didn't look very good last night, but you know what the best medicine is? Playing the Raiders next week.
Guess who's starting?
Might be Aiden O'Connell
No.
And
It is.
No. You know who's starting?
for the Raiders.
No, for Pittsburgh.
Oh, not
Russ
not,
is ready.
Not Russ.
Russ will be back this
Not
week.
Russ.
what are
That's
you
what they were
talking
saying.
about?
That's what they were saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Russ
Yeah.
ends up starting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too soon to pull the plug on Fields, but that was
no, that showed you yesterday. It's
Yeah,
time to pull-
I'm with you. I would have done it.
It's time to
I would
pull
have
the
done it.
plug. Yes. Pull the Band-Aid off, do it real quick, and just do it.
I don't know if I believe that yet.
I do. My man cannot get the ball downfield unless it's absolutely perfect. It's bad.
Yeah, but they can. The thing is the next few games.
He's
for
been
them-
right about him for barking for 2 years how bad Justin Fields is. He's right.
Moving on. Let's talk about what I thought was the game of the day. The Ravens and the Bengals. I think we were split decision on this one. Oh,
That was football.
just jumping back here real quick. You and Bruce picked Pittsburgh. Me and Zolo picked Dallas.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, get down. Get down. Oh, my God.
Super dank.
Oh, it did get down.
Did it?
Will somebody fill us in here?
Wenzel,
Whoa. What's going on right now?
because no one knows what's going on.
There's
That's
just
why we're
people
frozen.
running bases. There's people running off the field.
Wenzel Perez hit a bloop to left with a guy on second. There was two. Riley Green was on first, and Vierling was on second. This Quan guy, who's really good, it looked like he made the catch, so I was going. But the Tigers ran and scored. They didn't call it a catch, so they might have a run. But then on top of that, Perez just got thrown out going to second. We're seeing right now. I thought he caught it. No, he didn't. I don't think he did.
I don't know. I think his glove's under that.
No, it looked like it bounced into his glove.
Go backwards. You can go back 10 seconds, can you?
All right, we'll get to that momentarily. Our picks from the Baltimore Bengals game. You were the only one who picked Cincinnati. The rest of us picked the Ravens.
Yeah, it hit his glove.
For some reason, me and Bruce picked the under in this game, which looks pretty stupid now. Baltimore wins this one in Cincinnati, 41-38. You answered this question already, but does Cincinnati have a chance to make the playoffs still after being 1-4?
Yes.
I agree with you. What I saw at Joe Burrow in Cincinnati yesterday was really, really nice. Again, it goes back. Their fucking defense is so bad.
I don't think their defense is bad. They went up against a top quarterback in the league, and fucking they held their own. Listen, Cincinnati won that game yesterday. You can call that bullshit if you want, but whatever.
Call stands.
Yep.
Oh, they called it a catch. They called it a catch initially, and the call stood, so it's 3 outs and
Nobody's
0-0.
going into the 8th.
0-0.
0-0.
Lamar Jackson had a very nice game yesterday. They put up 17 fourth quarter points to win this game. Burrow, in my opinion, looked pretty lights out. He did have the one interception, and it was ugly. But Jamar Chase went for almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Their defense, I know what you're saying, but their defense is still not good.
Well, the back end of their defense had Dax
Hill's out for the year.
Dax Hill's out for the year. You lost him. And you know what? They were already playing with guys that they don't have. I mean, your secondary is ragtagged right now.
That's the only thing that worries me, is their defense is not that good.
They also went up against a very good team, dude. Derrick Henry's a fucking monster. He did nothing for 4 quarters, and all of a sudden he rips off a 50-yard run. So guess what?
I know.
That's what Derrick Henry does.
I still think Cincinnati has a good shot at this, but they've got to get something together on defense. They have to. Their offense is there. It always has been. But defensively, they've got to do better.
Too early to write them off.
Let's talk about Baltimore. They're 3-2. They've had a few nice performances in a row. Is Baltimore the team to beat? And I don't want to hear, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Arrowhead. Is Baltimore right now the team to beat in the AFC after winning 3 in a row against Dallas, Buffalo, and Cincinnati?
No.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Who is?
Kansas City.
Okay, besides here, I'll give it to you then. Besides Kansas City, is Baltimore the team to beat in the AFC?
They all look down to me. I don't know, man. The Texans, when they get hot, you got to watch out for them.
Yes, but who's the team to beat besides Kansas City, who I don't think is as good as Baltimore?
Well, say Baltimore, I guess.
So they're the second best team in the AFC in your eyes?
I guess so. Yeah.
Well, if you disagree, then who is
As of right now, I would say they are.
Zolo, your thoughts. Are the Ravens the team to beat?
I think the NFC's weak. I think the Ravens are the best team on paper. I don't really. You guys look at it as their defense is spotty. I look at it as they could just beat you anyway. They want to beat you. If you want to get in your shootout, they'll beat you.
It's not their. I don't think their defense is spotty.
That was Lamar Jackson's best game of the year, hands down.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was making good decisions.
I agree. He looked solid.
It's just when come playoff time, he doesn't.
I'm really excited to see what happens with Cincinnati going forward. I am. I just think that
I think their schedule favors them going forward right now. I do.
I mean, right now, hold
The
on.
next 4 games, they're
play
very
at-
winnable games.
They're at the Giants and they're at Cleveland. That's a winnable game. Philadelphia, the Raiders, and they have to play Baltimore again.
Okay. Well, let's say they win the next 4 games.
Hell, right now
Before
I think
they have
that's
to
a
play
stretch.
Baltimore at Baltimore.
Right now, I think them winning the next 4 is a stretch.
I wouldn't say that. They come in like they did yesterday. I don't think that's a stretch at all. I think it could happen.
Let's move on. And I don't even know if I want to discuss this.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins headed to Gillette Stadium to play the Patriots. I want to start out by saying the Patriots won this game. The Jalen Polk touchdown was a touchdown. I can't fathom why it was called back. I would love to talk to Mike Pereira about that catch specifically again. We had a split decision in this one. I picked New England. The rest of you picked Miami. Zolo picked the over. We all picked the under. And somehow, even in this, I get burned by the Miami Dolphins.
That's great.
I mean, this puts the Dolphins now at 2-3, which means that they're still right in the thick of things in their division. Where does this leave us with them? Because they're still in it. Them, the Jets, are both tied. Buffalo's 1 game up. I mean, my God. Did they just get lucky that they played New England yesterday? Because in my opinion, that's all. The fact that you got to play New England is the only reason you're still relevant.
So, yeah, but that's also life in the NFL.
And then they go into the bye now.
Yeah, it's a well-timed bye for
It's
them.
a very well-timed
Yeah,
bye.
because I'm sure they get 2 of them out coming out of the bye now.
I don't know about that, but
They should.
It buys them
They
time.
should. It's been what, 4 weeks? He should be ready to go by now.
Went out in week 2.
I don't even want to hear that shit with this fucking concussion shit
It's
last
not linear.
more
though.
than 3 weeks. It's bullshit.
To get back to your baseline isn't linear. Like it's not like there's no data on concussions to say that this.
Listen,
is,
Josh
this is the
Allen
time
had a
frame.
concussion in that game yesterday.
Yes, he
and
did.
he did not go out.
He
So I don't even want to hear that.
He sure didn't.
No, I don't even want to hear
And
that.
then Sean McDermott fucked
'Cause
him with the play call.
You know,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
know that
We're
that's
getting there.
all
We're getting
bullshit.
there. We're getting
Yeah,
there.
anyway.
Okay. Snoop Huntley.
Dog shit. How that guy went to a fucking Pro Bowl is unbelievable.
It's so fucked.
Unfucking believable.
Devon Achane went out in this one early with a concussion.
That just tells you how good the Ravens are as an organization.
It's a great.
When
they
you
do
could
everything
take
well.
Snoop Doogity Doo and win him a Pro Bowl. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
If you're Mike, if you're Miami, you've got to go in a different direction than Snoop Huntley going forward, right?
Make a phone call.
I mean, my
at
God.
this point,
There's
got
gotta
to
be somebody
someone
better.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's gotta be
shame! You know
someone.
what? Shame on fucking him, dude. Shame on him.
him?
I
Who's
think
him?
he should. Who do you think? Mike
Mike
McDaniels.
McDaniel?
I think he should be fucking held accountable. I think he should be held accountable for what's going on.
If the front office ain't giving you anything better than Snoop Huntley,
Listen,
and
dude.
Skylar Thompson,
Listen, dude. He needs to go to them and tell them, hey, I need fucking somebody. And maybe he's not. We don't know. It's behind the closed door shit.
Isn't Skylar Thompson injured still?
I believe so.
So that's the issue. It would be Skylar Thompson, who's been in the system and who has quarterbacked them in a playoff game before.
He's
and
dog
maybe-
shit too, dude.
Maybe.
He's dog shit too, dude. You can't make no excuses.
But don't
there.
you think they'd look a little more competent with Skylar Thompson?
Not really. Not really. I
Fair
don't
enough.
think so.
I think they're both.
Because they
Fair
didn't look
enough.
any better with Thompson.
Fair enough.
The only reason Miami wins this game is because Alec Ingold scores their first touchdown in, I did the math yesterday. That's 3, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, in 14 quarters. Alec Ingold scored their first touchdown in 14 quarters, and they win this 15-10, which they shouldn't have because the Jalen Polk catch was a fucking touchdown, and it was called back for no reason. No reason.
It's the NFL.
Are we ready? Are we ready to write off New England? Does the fact that Drake may start next week
Listen to
change it
me.
for you?
New England is. I think them
They're the worst team in
and fucking Carolina are two of the most.
Oh, man. Parker Meadows just made a crazy grab in center at the wall to get out of the 8th. Top of the 9th coming 0-0.
Wow. Do you mind if I chime in?
Go ahead.
The Carolina Panthers are miles better
No, they're not. As far as talent-wise, both of them rosters are pretty much fucking depleted.
Dude, I mean,
They're depleted.
okay, but at least you have some.
Doogity-doo.
You got
some.
young receivers on both teams that could be pretty good. The problem is the offensive lines are fucking garbage. Actually, I would give New England a little bit of their defense is better than Carolina's, but outside that, they're the same, dude.
Well, speaking of their defense, I wanted to touch on something real quick here. One of the captains of their defense, Jabril Peppers.
When he blew his brains out last
I
night.
saw
No,
that.
He did something with blow.
he did not blow his
Blow
brains
is a
out.
part of the equation.
He was arrested early Saturday morning. According to police, he is facing felony assault and battery charge, assault and battery with a deadly weapon, strangulation, and possession of cocaine.
Can I say something extremely fucked up? At least he didn't beat a woman up.
On the contrary, he did.
Oh.
He actually took his girlfriend, and she gave a written report to the police, and put her head through a drywall wall and then proceeded to throw her down the stairs. So that's why the arrest was made, and then they found a house full of cocaine after that.
I got a question.
Blow.
Yes.
Is this the same girl at the University of Michigan who said that he gave her a venereal disease? I just thought I'd ask.
Not positive,
ask that.
but
It's a great question.
It's
we
a
can
really
try
good
and
question,
fact
huh?
check that one.
Yeah,
So,
you thought I forgot about that, didn't you?
No,
No.
no.
do you think Drake May starts next week?
Yeah, I do.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
There's nowhere to go but down here.
I mean, Brissett's not.
Yes, but
Is he getting it done? No. But I think that's a group effort.
why not?
Yeah.
Like all Drake May can get at this point is experience because
Got
there's
to see
no
if he's
pressure.
healthy.
There's no pressure. Who? Drake May?
Yeah.
He's fucking healthy. He's
Put him out
healthy.
there. Put
I'd
him out
toss
there,
him
see
out.
what he can do.
And what I thought was another one of the best games of the weekend. Buffalo headed down to Houston to play the Texans. Houston comes out on top in this one at 23-20. This game hit the under, which the only one who took the under in this was Zolo, Uncle Sam, and actually I was the only one who took Buffalo. So I'll put my foot in mouth again on that one.
Jeez, you and I had a rough week.
I had a very rough
I did too. I lost it.
No, not at all. You had all the crazy ones.
Dude,
you had all the
I
good
picked-
ones.
Hold
Hold
on.
on. Crazy.
Yeah,
one.
you did.
You had the Giants. You had some really good
Yes.
ones.
Yeah, but the Giants played really well the week before. I told you that.
Okay. I picked Carolina, New England, Buffalo.
Now think about what you just said.
Carolina and New England are the two fucking worst teams in football, and for some reason I picked them. But
Okay.
anyways, moving on to this game, Josh Allen was 9 for 30 for 131 yards in this game. Josh Allen was indeed concussed. He went limp on the field. How he just magically, mythically ran.
Yeah,
back out.
how is it? How is it they take him to the sideline? Isn't there somebody that's supposed
His
to
hands
watch?
were all folded
Hold on.
over like this shit.
Isn't there somebody that watches it from above that signals to them to tell them to go to the blue tent? How come that didn't fucking happen yesterday? But Tua Tagovailoa has been out for 4 weeks with a fucking concussion. And this guy was concussed and never sat. What did he sat? One play out?
One play, baby.
One play out.
One play.
Can anybody fucking answer that question? Roger Goodell, you cocksucker. That's you making up the rules as you go is not a good thing, bud.
All right. So, with that being said, I thought CJ Stroud had a very nice game. I thought the Houston defense had a very nice game.
Still couldn't run the football. They were having issues.
Still can't run the football, but again, I think realistically, I think that's a mixing issue. I really do.
I do too. They need him back.
They need to get him back. How
Stroud,
much
Stroud finally looked decent yesterday too.
the way that Buffalo managed this game down the stretch, though,
Yeah,
was fucking
I
atrocious.
cannot believe that.
It was fireable.
Yes.
The play calling when they were in the end zone, when they were on the one,
Yes.
it was fire.
You've
it's
got
fireable.
to put this one
What
on
are
staff.
what are you doing? That cost them the game.
What are you doing?
And then he's gonna, it might have been the wrong call. I take full responsibility. Do you? You're fired, asshole. How about that? You needed to be fired 2 years ago.
just got Donald
when you
Trumped.
can't when you can't take this fucking team to a fucking
You've
Super
had-
Bowl. Jim Kelly ain't coming out of the fucking grave to come and do it for you, bud. And he ain't even dead yet.
Can I say something real quick? Spencer Torkelson struck out. So one out top of the ninth. I still like this Houston team ain't gonna cut it. The way they're playing, their defense is good, of course. The way their offense is played, it's not good enough. And Nico Collins is out now. Yep. He went from day to day to week. So I think Nico Collins is out. And hamstrings, same drill. Like very tough. Percentage of is high for re-aggravating down the road. It ain't easy to recover from that, and that is their offense.
Aaron Jones last year missed 7 games with the fucking hamstring.
Yeah,
I agree.
7 games.
They have to establish a run game.
People had Houston in the Super Bowl. I personally don't think this current iteration of Houston is out of the divisional round. You know,
agreed.
And their division. They're really lucky that their division didn't shape up.
Right now with them though. They're still putting wins together.
Well, yeah,
somehow
it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs thing. Yeah.
4-1 right now.
So that's where you need to be careful.
They are leading the league in passing, and then they are 26th in rushing yards. They have to start running the football. They have to.
Parker Meadows infield pop out, so it should be Sweeney right here.
2 outs.
2 outs. Yeah.
They have to find a way to start running the football.
Rogers, maybe Jake Rogers.
Hopefully, they can get Mixon back in the next week or two and get that going. They need to. Where are we at with the Bills? They're still leading their division, 3-2.
I never thought that they were there.
Yes, but they're going to end up winning this division.
No, it's too early to say.
It's not too early to say.
Way too early.
I know you have this pipe dream of Aaron Rodgers
winning the division. It's way too early to say.
I put it at 60%.
It's way too early.
I'm with him.
Miami's putrid. New England is.
I'm with him. It's at 60%.
It's no, dude. No,
I wouldn't call the Jets putrid. I think they just have problems right now. If Jake Rogers single to left, 1 on 2 outs, Trey Sweeney up.
Guess what? We're gonna get the answers to all of our questions on Monday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game. That's
the answers to all of them. For me. If Buffalo stomps the Jets, which I firmly believe they're going to do, because not only does the Jets' offensive line look like shit, they can't run the ball. Aaron Rodgers looks old as fuck, and their defense is suspect. When that happens,
I'm taking the Jets.
Good, take the Jets. Take the Jets. That's fine. But Buffalo will beat them this week.
Okay, we'll see.
And we'll have all of the answers. That division, that division is the worst.
I don't know.
Right
is Josh Allen playing?
Josh Allen's playing.
How's he playing? He's concussed.
Listen,
he hasn't passed protocol yet. I'm sorry, he hasn't entered protocol yet.
Right. If you don't enter,
why?
You don't have to.
Why is he not entered concussion protocol yet? Hello?
In a game that I thought.
Get down. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Sweeney single to right. Jake Rogers on third. 2 outs. Guys on the corner.
Wow. I wish we could get this on the stream right now. Is there any way to get this on the stream?
No, you can't.
Actually, yeah. We have to be in it talking about it.
Huh?
We have to be like in
we
the
are
screen,
fucking talking about
in the
it.
screen talking about it.
Put it on there then. If you can put it on there, it's 2 outs at the top of the 9.
No, we have to be in screen.
You have to be in screen. Like I have
this.
to.
That's
fuck,
fine.
I have to
Keep
fuck
us on
with
there.
everything.
We'll do a live watch for a minute here. Fuck. We have 2 more games to go through, which we'll get through pretty quickly. And then we have our Monday night picks. And so if you can figure this out before they strike out here and end the inning, that would be really nice. I don't have a ton of faith, but you know. And we can probably get through this next game in the meantime. Oh, never mind. He figured it out.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Anyways.
Thank you.
Moving on. The Indianapolis Colts headed to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. This game hit the over, which none. Wait a second. No, Uncle Sam picked the over. Zolo picked the Actually, I'm the only one who picked the under in this game, but me and Zolo both picked Jacksonville because we thought they needed it more. And Jacksonville does indeed come out on top 37-34. Joe Flacco with another very nice performance, but I will say Trevor Lawrence finally gave us a good game. A definitively good game out of Trevor Lawrence.
Kind of gives you hope if they weren't 0-4 too, because offensively they were there.
Travis Etienne, a complete non-factor in this game. The majority of the carries went to Tank Bigsby, who made the most out of him for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. I will say the Colts did not benefit much from not having Jonathan Taylor in this game. they were missing Jonathan Taylor,
I would agree with that.
especially in situations where Flacco could have used him to get out of trouble. They did not benefit from that. Overall, though, I thought the Colts had a nice game.
Well, Flacco proved he could put the ball down the field, that's
Yes.
for sure.
Jacksonville desperately needed to get this win, and they got it. Do we have any sort of faith in Jacksonville going forward after a nice win like this?
For the same reason you can have faith in Cincinnati, you can have faith in Jacksonville. They have the same record, and it's a matter of which team do you think is better. Because a 9-8 or a 9-8 team is going to get in the AFC this year. It's going to happen. It's a down year. So yeah, I think you can realistically have a little bit of faith. There's pieces there and a lot to like offensively. And I think if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels, a lot of people would be talking about Brian Thomas as Rookie of the Year right now. Brian Thomas is outstanding.
I agree. Brian Thomas, the only problem with Brian Thomas winning Rookie of the Year is if Jaden Daniels continues to do what
Yeah,
he's been
that's it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Jaden Daniels, people would be talking about
He
Brian
could be
Thomas
offensive
more.
Rookie of the Year.
So hypothetically,
Yeah, it's what I mean. It's what I mean.
if Anthony Richardson is healthy, do you see the Colts going back to him, or do they continue to start Flacco, who is hot as lava at the moment?
Well, if Steichen or whatever his fucking name is has got any kind of brains, I would run Joe Flacco till he drops dead.
360 and 3 touchdowns in the loss yesterday.
Right.
So you're rolling Flacco.
What do you think?
I think at this point,
I mean, outside Anthony Richardson scrambling around and just chucking up the ball to Alex
Come on,
Pierce.
get out, get out,
You know,
get out,
shot.
get out,
No
get out,
shot.
get out,
No
get out!
shot.
Gary Bonds, Gary Bonds.
No
Let's
fucking.
go, let's go. Fuck yes. Kerry Carpenter 3-run home run, 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
wow.
Let's go.
And you still can't figure out how to get it on the fucking screen?
Dude, you try
Come
streaming it with
on,
your phone.
Bruce.
It's not fucking working. I don't know what you want me to do.
Bruce. So Tigers 3-0, top 9.
3-0.
Beautiful. I would continue to start Joe Flacco going forward as well. Moving on. Broncos, Raiders. The Raiders are absolute dog shit. Do you have anything? That's another team that you loved. Do you have anything to say in support of the Raiders at this point?
Well, I mean, Aiden O'Connell, it might be his show going forward now.
You also were a big...
The Minshew thing did not work,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
Minshew has played a lot more football than Aiden O'Connell. Although Aiden O'Connell won, what was it, the last 5 games of the year for the Raiders last year. And beating Kansas City at Kansas City. And for some reason, they didn't have any faith in him.
You were the only one who took the Raiders in this game.
Yeah.
But you also did take the over. So I will commend you on that.
Yeah.
Everybody else took Denver in the under. Broncos win this one 34-18. Broncos defense looks fucking fantastic.
And look at all the pieces. They're missing their best player, Alex Singleton. They're missing
Patrick Surtain's their best player.
No, they're missing their best. Well,
Their best
whatever,
linebacker.
their best
I'll give you their
linebacker.
best linebacker. Yes.
They're missing their run stopper, their pass fucking defender. They're missing them.
Agreed.
And I'll tell you what, Surtain, you gotta give it to him. But
He's there.
that front 7 played very well yesterday.
Anything going on?
Got a single.
Okay. I think really quietly the Broncos defense is becoming one of...
It's the best defense in the league. Broncos defense is the best defense in the league.
Ooh.
Vic Fangio goes back to the team that he coached that fired him, right?
Yep.
And he's turned similar pieces to what they had the last couple years into, in my opinion, the best defense in the league. And because of that, they're able to put Bo Nix in good situations offensively where they don't need to take shots. They don't need to. The tempo is controlled by their defense. You can't throw on
And
them
running
right
the
now.
football
You can't throw on
by
them.
committee.
Yeah.
I want to discuss the Raiders real quick here. Going forward, their next 4 games before the bye are Pittsburgh, the Rams, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. Do you see them winning any of those? No. People close to the situation said that Devontae Adams will be traded probably before Thursday.
I hope so. I need them.
And I don't see this getting any better. How does this end for the Raiders?
It's going to end ugly because Adams ain't going to be the only guy wanting to get out.
They pulled their ace closer, the best closer in baseball, Emmanuel Clase.
So we're in a pitching change?
We're in a pitching change.
2 outs, top 9.
But you shook them. You went in there and you pounded it up their ass.
Amen. Your thoughts on how this ends for the Raiders?
Not good. I think this ends with Antonio Pierce getting fired eventually.
I think so too. You think that who was the guy they should have hired? What was his name? We know this.
We're talking about a couple years ago when this
Correct.
happened. Rick Bisaccia,
Correct.
Rick Bisaccia.
They hired the wrong guy.
They're not the only ones.
Yeah, they should have fought harder to not fire Gruden.
Yeah.
It was what it was. That was the league forced that because they knew they were in trouble.
And they were wrong. And by the way, they're in a huge lawsuit with John Gruden. That hopefully John Gruden wins that and gives them all the finger.
Okay.
Gives Roger Goodell the big fuck you.
We have a Monday night
violating
game.
his rights.
We have a Monday night game that we need to pick. Kansas City, a 5.5-point favorite over the New Orleans Saints at Arrowhead. Over under is 43.5. Saints got out to a hot start and have looked a little sluggish. Uncle Sam, where you at?
When?
Who are you picking?
What's the spread?
Kansas City is a 5.5-point favorite. The over under is 43.5.
I'm going to take the over in this game. I'm taking Kansas City.
Would you like to give us your prop?
My prop, Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown.
Would you like to be saved for last?
Kansas City to win, Kansas City to cover. I think the Saints are frauds. I think this is going to prove it. I also think that there was way too much offense yesterday for it to carry over here. That usually leads to a stinker on Monday night. I don't think that they're going to have the bug. So I'm taking the under in this one. My props are going to be Travis Kelce over receptions, which I believe is 5.5. You'll have to fact check me that. If you can get it at 5.5, take it. If you get it at 4.5, take it. If you get it at 6.5, take it. I think Travis Kelce opens it up because as good as the Saints defense is, I don't think their linebackers are that good. I also, you disagree? Thanks for being subtle about it.
Oh, dude, come on, dude. They got one of the best inside linebackers in the game.
Travis Kelce, it's 5.5 receptions.
I'll take the over on that one. And then for the Saints, I think that Rashid Shaheed isn't going to draw Trent McDuffie. I think he's just going to draw the lesser of the two corners. I'm not going to take it any time. I'll take his over on receptions.
Lave's going to draft.
Endorse it, yeah. 4.5, right?
It's 4.5, yep.
I'll go 4.5 receptions.
And I like his overage on yards at 48.5 too.
Yeah.
Bruce, you want to pick it?
I'm going to take the Saints in the over.
You son of a bitch. I'm going to take the Saints in the under. I'm going to take the Saints to cover and win, and I'm going to take the under. My prop, I'm going to take the Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown tonight. I also, hold on, I'm not finished. Derek Carr at 210 passing yards. I'm going to take the over on that. I'm going to take the over on the 48.5 out of Shaheed because, again, he catches one ball. He goes over that. I like all of those. If I had to throw on a Kansas City one, I like Noah Gray over 20.5 yards. He's sneaky. Give me Noah Gray.
You've hit the Noah Gray prop before, too.
I have. And you want to know what? No Taysom Hill tonight. It's Derek Carr all by himself. And I love that.
No gimmicks.
No gimmicks. No games. Where are we at with getting the Tigers stream on the screen for the last few minutes of this?
Nowhere.
Wow.
It won't fucking work.
Exceptional production quality out of the tugboat per usual. Well, then I'm going to end this show so that way we can finish watching the game. And
I could probably get it on that TV out there.
no, we'll talk about it on Wednesday. We'll talk about the way this ended up. We'll open with Tigers on Wednesday. Wait a second. We're probably not going to open with Tigers. We might do Fantasy Frenzy on Thursday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Keep looking at our socials to know when we're going next. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow socials, Instagram and Twitter. at Tipballs, TikTok at Tipballs Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, even though Bruce hasn't uploaded an episode of Spotify in the last month, you can listen to them there now because I tore them apart today, and they will be on there. You can watch us on YouTube. Remember to subscribe, ring the bell so you know when we go live. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sometime around 5, but the Tigers are playing on Wednesday. And we might go to the game, so we might not be on Wednesday. We might be on Thursday with Fantasy Frenzy, and we're live on TikTok now, so join us there. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you at some point.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.